Hi guys, my name is Dan. I'm one of the yoga teachers here at USW Treforest, and I'm going to take you through a beginner-friendly class today, so this is good for all levels. If you want to listen to music in the background, go ahead, just adjust the volume so you can still hear me. Or if you want to use the playlist that I used, if you go to my website, valleysyoga.com, you'll find my Spotify there, and the playlist that I used is called USW Welcome Week. So if you want to pause the video now and get some music ready, go ahead. And then when you're ready, we're going to start in seated. So just join me comfortably cross-legged on your mat. And we're not going to pause here for too long, but just taking a moment to see if you can slow down your breath. So sitting with a tall spine, draw your shoulders down your back so you feel tall. Just take a really deep breath all the way into the belly, and then a slow, deep breath out. And we'll start by making some space through the chest and in the shoulders. So when you're ready, just take your hands behind your back. Your thumbs are close to the base of your spine, and you're pressing the fingertips into the floor. And then from there, roll your shoulders back, lift the chest up, look up. Try to get your shoulder blades together. And then exhale, hands are on the knees. We're going to move through the spine. So on the inhale, same sort of thing. Slide your hands to your hip creases, shoulder blades together, chest lifting. And then when you breathe out, hands slide to the knees, round back, spread the shoulder blades wide apart. Twice more like this. So breathe in. And then when you breathe out, really try to round your back, arch. Once more, breathe in, hands into hip creases, elbows close to ribs. Breathe all the way out, hands are on the knees, round back. Okay, come to sit tall. And then from here, we're going to come to all fours. So come into your all fours position. And then we're going to continue this movement with the spine. So as you inhale, reach your chest forwards, look forwards, tilt the pelvis back. And then when you breathe out, round your back and press your hands into the floor. Good. So we move with our breath. Inhale, you're dipping through the back. Exhale, you're rounding through the back. We'll do two more like this. Inhaling. Good. When you exhale, round the back, push the hands into the floor. Really try to spread your shoulder blades apart. Good. Inhale back through. Last time, exhaling into that cat stretch. And then coming into a neutral spine. From here now, bend your elbows, come down to the mat, slide the hips to the floor, and then cobra, lift your chest up. Take your hands off the mat, so you're just using your back strength. Lower down. Push through your hands, come back to child's pose, so hips to the heels. We're going to do that a couple of times. So inhale, all fours. And then as you breathe out, you're bending the elbows, keeping them close to your ribs, all the way flat to the floor. Cobra, again, hands are off the mat. You're using your lower back strength. Lower down. Push back to child's pose. Hips towards the heels. One more time. Come into all fours. As you bend the elbows, come down to the mat. Take your cobra. If your hands are on the floor, they're just resting. Don't press with the hands. Good, lower down, and then come all the way back into that child's pose. Hips towards the heels, they might even be in contact. Reach both hands over to the left, and then stack the right hand on top of the left one. Just feel a stretch down your right side of the ribs. Come back to center with both hands, and then just go the other way. Both hands over to the right, left one stacks on top of the right one. Chest faces the floor. Try and take a really deep breath to feel more stretch down your left ribs. Good. Go ahead and come back to center with the hands. Lift to all fours. And then from all fours, we're going to come into downward dog. So just tuck your toes underneath. And then you're lifting your knees off the mat and driving the hips up. Pedal through your heels. So as you drive one heel down, bend the opposite knee, and then do the same thing the other way. Definitely feeling some stretch in the backs of your legs here. If the hamstrings feel tight, your heel might not get anywhere near the mat. That doesn't matter. Just pedaling to see what feels comfortable in the hamstrings. Pushing your chest towards your thighs. So you're trying to push through both hands. Making an upside down V shape with your body. Good. From here, we're going to come to the front of the mat. So look towards your hands and just start walking your feet towards your hands. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And then once you're there, just grab the elbows with opposite hands. Let your head hang down heavy. Let your arms relax. And then just curl up through the spine. Roll all the way up tall. And then once you get to standing, we're going to do sun salutations. So as you breathe in, lift both arms up, palms touch. As you breathe out, tip forwards. Try to keep the legs straight as comfortable. Inhale, hands on shins, chest forwards, flat back. Feeling more stretch in the backs of the legs. Exhale down. Bend the knees as much as you need to here again. Inhale all the way up tall, palms touch. Do this a couple of times. Exhale, fold. If it's comfortable straight legs, do straight legs. Inhale, hands on shins, chest forwards. Good. As you breathe out, fold down. Inhale, come all the way up. Just do one more like this. So fold it down as you breathe out. Try and get close to the legs. Inhale, flat back, chest forwards. Empty the lungs, fold down. Inhale all the way up, palms touch. We're going to build on this now. Exhale, fold, same thing. As you breathe in, hands on shins, chest forwards. And this time, as you exhale, fold, we want to get both hands on the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Right foot steps back, then left, we're pausing in plank. Tighten up through the tummy, push through both hands. Knees down, and then lower down, just like we did before. Cobra, chest lifting. And then instead of child's pose, push through all fours, tuck your toes, downward dog. So we begin to build those things together. We'll begin to pick up the pace a little bit now. So in downward dog, still pedaling the heels. Fingers are spread nice and wide, helping to spread the weight through the hand. Good. Look forwards towards your hands. We're going to step the right foot all the way through in between the hands. One big step. If it gets stuck halfway like this, use your right hand and drag it forwards. Then step your left foot forwards. Half lift, hands on shins. Exhale, fold down. Inhale all the way up, palms touch. We're going to do this twice. Exhale, fold. So this is really helping the backs of the legs. Inhale, hands on shins, chest forwards. Exhale down, hands are on the mat. You're going to step back left, then right, plank, hold plank. Just briefly. Exhale, knees down. Good, lower down. Into Cobra, try not to use your arms here, just your back strength. Lower down, come back to downward dog. And each time we come to downward dog, we generally pause a couple of breaths. Downward dog is not a resting pose. You're pressing firmly with the hands. You're trying to get those heels down and keep the hips high. Look forwards. Left foot, one big step if you can, between the hands. Then back foot comes in. Half lift, hands on shins. Good. When you breathe out, fold into the legs. And then when you inhale, come up tall, palms touch. Good. Let's do one more like this, folding down. So remember, you're keeping the knees bent slightly if you need to. Flat back, hands on shins. And then exhale, hop or step. So you can hop both feet if you want. We're pausing in plank. Now this time, you're either going to come down through the knees, or you can do like a slow press all the way down, a little bit stronger. Take Cobra, same thing we did last time. Lower down. Good. If you came down through a press, tuck your toes and press up. Otherwise, through hands and knees, back to downward dog. Good. So we're working some strength here, not just our flexibility. Look towards your hands. We're going to step right foot forwards, help it through if it gets stuck. And we're going to put the back foot flat. So your back foot parallel with your short end of your mat, your front heel lines up with your back arch. And then from here, we're going to come up with straight legs, arms are shoulder height. Good. Look down your right fingertips, reach forwards as far as you can reach, legs are straight. Bring the right hand down and the left one up. Pause here in triangle. So you're trying to open that top shoulder back. Little bit harder, take the back of your right hand against the inside of your right leg. That's stopping you from resting your weight into that leg through the hand. So now you've got to use your core strength. Breathe in, come up, arms are teed, and now bend your right knee. Right knee on top of ankle. Don't let your knee fall in. When you look down inside that right knee, you can just see your big toe. So you're trying to sink the hips low, bend deep in the front knee, arms are shoulder height. If you want more challenge, come to the tiptoe on that right foot. That's totally optional, makes it a little bit harder. Good, just take one more big breath in. And then when you breathe out, put your right heel down, and then you're going to cartwheel the hands down either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toes, step back to plank, pause. And again, you're either going to come down through the knees or through that press. Come down to the mat. Into cobra, just lifting the chest, using back strength. Good, lower down. And then push back through all fours or through a press up, back into downward dog. Good. Do the same on the other side now. So left foot is going to step all the way forwards, or you're going to help it forwards in between your hands. Back foot parallel with the short end of your mat. Front heel lined up with back arch. And then straight legs all the way up, arms teed with the shoulders. Look down your left hand, reach forwards as far as you can reach. Rest left hand on left leg, right arm lifts up. So option to make it harder is to take the back of that left hand to rest against the inside of the left leg and try and press against it to help you twist and rotate your chest. Good. Holding here, not for too long. Come up, arms are teed. Good. Bend your left knee. Warrior 2. Same thing here. Check your knees on top of your ankle, not further forwards. Maybe lift that front heel and try and sink deeper into that hip. Check that both arms are shoulder height. The back one tends to drift down. Just glance over, make sure it's shoulder height. Plant that front foot down and then cartwheel the hands either side of the front foot. Tuck your back toes, come to plank. We're going to hold again briefly here. Core strength, strong arms, and then lower yourself down into a cobra. And this time when we come back to downward dog, we're just going to take a brief pause. So make your way back to downward dog. Again, you might just pedal through your heels, just helping to get that stretch into the backs of the legs. All right, so let's get ready to move on to the next thing. Look forwards towards your hands. Step your right foot forwards. Help it if it gets stuck. So your right foot's right between your hands, back foot flat. Come all the way up again, straight legs. And then this time, bring your front foot parallel with your back foot. So now both feet are parallel with the short ends of the mat. Hands at the hips. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. And as you exhale, tip forwards. Getting a stretch into the back of both legs. If your hamstrings are tight, you might have a slight bend in the knees. Try to just let your head and neck relax. Next, inhale, roll up through the spine. Turn that right foot to point forwards, arms shoulder height, come back to warrior 2, and then take your right forearm to right thigh, left arm up. If it's comfortable, left arm overhead and drive your hips down towards that front heel. Again, totally optional. You might see if your right hand can get down to the floor. If that's not comfortable, keep the right forearm on the thigh. Good. Top arm, bicep by the ear, top shoulder, rolling back. Good. To get out of this, you're going to press firmly down with your front foot to straighten that leg. Good. Take your left hand on your left leg, right arm reaches up and back. Just take a stretch. Come forwards again, arms teed, bend the knee, and then cartwheel the hands. Step back, plank, we're going to hold it again. Pausing in plank, and then lowering down through knees or through press up. Into your cobra, elbows stay close to your sides, and then push back to downward dog. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. Okay, so when you're ready, left foot all the way forwards, back foot flat. Lift yourself up, straight legs. Feet parallel with the short ends of the mat again. Hands at the hips. Inhale, lift the chest up, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, tip forwards. Keep the legs as straight as feels comfortable. You can bring your hands to the floor if that's available. Or you might keep them on your hips. Just do what feels comfortable with your hands. Try not to crane your head to look forwards. Just let your head hang down heavy. And then with your next inhale, we're going to roll up. So just rolling up through the spine, all the way up tall. Turn your left toes to point forwards again. And then as you bend into that left knee, you're going to bring that forearm onto the thigh, top arm up, overhead. Same thing here. Try not to dump weight into your shoulder. Press the forearm into the thigh so your chest feels open. And you might be able to sneak that hand towards the floor. Top arm overhead. Top arm is reaching out long, so you're really stretching out through that top hand. You're driving your hips down towards the back of your front heel. Good, and then to come up, press down through that left foot, come up, straight legs. Right hand on right leg, just reach back briefly. And then bring the arms into that T position with the shoulders. Bend your left knee, hands come down, step back to plank. Again, just holding briefly. A little bit of focus on plank in today's class. Lower down. Good, cobra. And then push your way back to downward dog. Good, if the face feels hot, take a breath out through the mouth. Slight pause here in downward dog again. A great chance to check in with your breath. So if it is speeding up, just take this time to try to consciously slow your breath back down. Try to breathe deeper instead of faster. Good. Look forwards towards your hands and step right foot, then left. Good. This time as you breathe in, hands are on the shins, chest forwards. Exhale, fold down. We're going to come into chair pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips low, and then lift the arms up. Holding here. So you're sitting low, strong in the legs. Bring your hands into your chest. You're either going to stay like this, or you're going to shift your weight into your right foot and see if you can lift the left foot off. Harder than it looks. Get switch sides. See if you can shift the weight to left foot. Get both feet are flat. And then stand up. We'll do some balance. So we'll just work on tree. So for a tree pose, you're going to stand on your right foot. And then you're bringing the sole of your left foot on the inside of the right leg. And then from here, hands at the chest is just to help you with your balance. You can slide that foot up onto your calf. Or if that feels easy, you can bring it right up into the thigh. You're trying to bring that left knee back without letting the right hip go with it. So you're trying to keep both hip bones looking forwards. Lift your arms up. Good. If the balance is steady, take your arms out wide. If you want more challenge, you're going to see if you can lean to the left with your arms. That's a little bit trickier. Otherwise, you're just staying upright tall. Good. From here now, hands into chest. We're going to turn that left knee to point forwards. Lift that knee high. Higher again, as high as you can lift it, and now straighten the left leg. As high as you can hold it, stay strong in that left thigh. One more breath in, step the foot down. Okay, same thing other way. Stand on your left leg, right knee opens out to the side, and you're taking the sole of the right foot on the inside of your left leg. So start low at the ankle and the calf, maybe come up to the thigh. Both hip bones point forwards. You can stay here. Totally optional to lift the arms, trickier balance. Maybe open the arms. And then I forgot to do it on this side. If you want to work on that lean, you're leaning to the right with your arms so your hips go more to the left. Otherwise, just stick with this. Good. Bring the hands back into the chest. We're going to turn that right knee to point forwards, lift it up. Higher, as high as you can lift that knee, and then straighten that leg. Stay strong in that thigh. We're not here for long. Keep it as high as you can keep it. And then when you breathe out, leg comes down. Good. Come to the front of your mat if you aren't already. Big breath in, lift the arms up. Breathe out as you fold forwards. And this time we're going to pause here, just checking in with the backs of our legs. So if your toes are together, just take your feet slightly apart. And just roll the weight backwards and forwards through the foot. Your legs are as straight as you can comfortably keep them. Tummy close to thighs. Just trying to get into those hamstrings. The head and the neck are relaxed. Just let your head hang down heavy. All right. From here now, we're going to step back into plank. So just step one foot back, then the other one. Bring the knees down and then come into seated. So seated position, left leg out long, sole of right foot into left thigh. We're going to work on a twist. So tall spine, left hand on right knee, right hand behind your back. Inhale, sit tall. And as you exhale, press the left hand against your right knee to twist. So you're not just turning the head and the neck, you're turning through the chest. Good. One more breath. Turn to face forwards. Hands rest on top of that left thigh. And then you're trying to tilt your pelvis back, reach your chest forwards, and as far as comfortable, come down over that straight left leg. If you've got tight hamstrings, you're going to keep a little bend in your left knee. Otherwise, we're working on a straight leg and trying to get as close to it as you can. Not tempted to hold the breath if this feels like a pretty intense stretch. The muscles relax on the exhale, so a nice deep breath in will give you a nice deep breath out. Okay, come back up, and then we're going to switch sides. So your right leg is out long, sole of left foot into right thigh, right hand on left knee, inhale tall, and you're twisting, you've got the left hand behind the back. You're turning through the chest, pressing that hand against the knee for one last little bit of twist. And then face forwards, hands on top of right thigh, both hip bones point forwards, and just lean forwards over that thigh as far as you need to. If you're feeling a stretch, then you're in the right place. Don't worry about how low down you need to go. As soon as you feel a stretch, just pause there, couple of breaths. So even if it feels like you aren't going very far forwards, just keep trying, keep leaning forwards, keep breathing. Good. And then with your next exhale, just breathe all the way out, last little bit here. And then breathe in, come all the way up tall. Both legs are out long. Knees are bent now, feet are on the mat. We're going to come onto our backs, so take your hands behind yourself, come down through your forearms, head and shoulders on the mat. Yeah, we're going to do a little hip stretch and some twists, but we'll just check in with our hamstrings first. Bring your knees into your chest And then take your hands behind your thighs and send both feet up towards the ceiling. So when you flex your feet, push through your heels, feel the stretch in the back of the legs. When you point your feet, feel the stretch in the tops of the feet. So just pointing and flexing a couple of times. And then we'll get into hips and twists. So rebend both knees, take your arms out wide, and then both feet on the mat. Right ankle on top of left knee, and then lift your left foot off the mat, left shin parallel with the ceiling. From here, head and shoulders lift up. You're going to take your right hand in between the legs, left hand outside left thigh. So you interlace your hands behind that left thigh, and then bring your head and shoulders back down. If you need more stretch, just bend your elbows to pull that left thigh closer, feeling a stretch in the right glute. So the head and shoulders are on the mat. There's no tightness in the neck. And then we're going to release the grip on that left thigh. Left foot on the mat. Keep your right ankle where it is. Arms are out wide. And now twist from your waist so that the sole of your right foot touches down on your left side. You're turning your head to look down your right arm. So just a nice twist, helping to free up the back. Good. Come back to center with your legs. And then we're going to go the other way. So now you've got your right foot on the mat, left ankle on right knee. Now bring your right shin parallel with the ceiling, head and shoulders up. Grab hold of that right thigh. Head and shoulders back down. Try to pull that right thigh closer towards you. Check that your head isn't lifted off the mat. Just let it relax back. Take one more deep breath in. And then with your next outward breath, release the grip on your right thigh. Let your right foot go down to the mat. Arms are out wide. And then twist from your waist so that you're trying to get the sole of the left foot to touch down on your right side. And if it's comfortable for your neck, just look down your left arm. So it brings that twist right from the tailbone all the way up into the neck. Good. Slowly come out of this now. We're going to bring both feet back onto the mat, feet to hip width. Bring your hands on the mat next to your hips, palms down, and then press with your feet to lift your hips up into bridge. So you're pressing the feet into the floor, lifting the hips. And then as you breathe out, we're going to bring the hips back down to the mat. We'll do this one more time. Make sure the weight is in your shoulders, not in your neck. Drive the hips up, press through the feet, press through the hands. And in the next outward breath, relax the hips back down. Bring both knees into the chest, hands interlaced on top of the knees, and then draw your nose to your knees. Make a tight ball. So you're crunching in, nose to the knees. You might even wrap your arms around your shins, get as close into a ball as you can, and then exhale, head and shoulders down, followed by the feet. And we're just going to come to lie flat, slide the legs out long, arms relaxed by the sides. And that's us for today. Just take a moment to just rest and relax here on your back. Try taking a deep breath in through the nose, and then just sigh out through the mouth. Just take a minute or two here, the eyes comfortably closed, allowing the body as well as the mind to just completely rest and relax. Feeling calm and comfortable.